I'm just asking,
Probably.
when do I get my bill for this?
Next billing cycle, maybe?
Well, we put it on the bill as soon as we find out about it because they send out letters.
Okay, so
When
you
they
found out
find
about
it, they
it
send out a
basically
letter,
2 weeks ago.
contact you, and then we say, hey, we found this. You know, you have an option to tap in or not, or you can pay to have it disconnected. Or if not, if you want to leave it there, then you'll get billed for whatever, and then we have to wait to hear from you what your decision is. And then we'll put it on the next bill that we can, that keeps coming up.
You have to hear from me, or are you hearing from me
Yeah,
now?
we
I'm
sent
just
you a
saying,
letter.
I just
asking
wanna,
you.
I don't have a problem with it being there now.
Okay.
But what my problem is, when are you gonna start pay, when do I have to pay?
Probably the next billing cycle.
Yeah.
Which is when?
Well, wait a minute, so did you not get a letter from us?
Right here, but it doesn't say
Okay.
when it starts.
Oh, okay. Well, then it will, as soon as, did you respond back?
What was the last billing cycle?
Just-
July?
No, I just went out.
Just went out.
I just did it last
So
week.
it should be, what, the next couple days if it comes out?
Well, they would have gotten it already because I got mine.
So if you didn't get it yet, Coach, it'll probably be the
Then it'll
next
be on
bill.
the next bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question, now, when you say terminate, do we gotta chase them to the main and shut the corporation off? Or we just doing it with the
Yes.
curb box, how they, I'm just curious.
Yeah, so Mr. Allen, he said, he's shaking his head, yeah, you have to cut it off right at the,
So you're just shutting the corporation off, all you're doing?
No, we're gonna shut the corp off and then it has to be cut, so.
Yeah, but, so we got a solder cap, or just trying to make sure the corporation's off, it's cutting on?
Cut the line.
So you're just worried about the corporation, not
Yeah.
ever leaving?
Yes.
Because you know and I do, they start leaving. So all these ones you're cutting off, you can go to Ipton, and you know this, Ipsy Township probably got 500 of them that leave the corporation under the road.
guarantee it.
They're constantly driven. So you are, I mean, I'm not trying to be, you are gonna cause yourself a little problem 10, 15 years down the road. If you're in the water line business, or I know, I've been in it for 40 years, you shut a corporation off, and I can show you, I know where there's a dozen in Ipsy that leak personally.
I wouldn't suggest it at all. But if you don't want it at the road or
Yeah, I
whatever,
think
you
you're
don't
making
want
a
to be
mistake
still.
shutting off the court, because they are gonna leak.
Right.
You know that.
No,
Guaranteed.
I agree. I agree.
So go ahead, Wendy, sorry.
Oh, okay. Maybe the question is better for you, Alan. On the graph where it talked, like, do we have any idea, like, was there an event locally that would have caused that really high spike that, I can't remember which chart it was, it was like almost 40%, and then there was another one that was kind of down, it was almost as equally high at like 37. And then my other comment is, according to the meters, you can read them accurately, and you know without a doubt which house and how much water they're using. So then, and this is my logic, which could be wrong, but then is the leak happening from homes that aren't on a meter? Like, how then could it be happening with city water when you have this accurate Badger meter reader?
Can I take that?
Please.
That's a very good question. And so what we found, part of the reason we started with the meter replacement program, as I mentioned, we had 600 meters that weren't transmitted. And then we started a meter inspection program, and going into houses and looking for illegal connections because people were doing that. The interesting history of this township was that there was somebody, when they were building Lincoln Pines and Mead, there was somebody going around offering to do a bypass for your sprinkler system. That's the urban legend that I've heard. So yes, there are people on the system that are not metered, that we don't know about, and that we are continuing. Alan, Mr. Gust over here has been looking for those curb stops, and we have found people that were connected to the system and did not have a meter. We did not know they were connected, and they were getting water.
So, and this is just my ignorance around like water and meters and stuff.
Yes.
Is it possible then that there are those curb stops? Like, people have to have access to one or have one nearby where they can tap into, right?
Yes, each house, each property that has water has a curb stop. That's how you turn it on and off at the curb.
So all these years, and we still have this leakage, and we can't we know where the meters are and the curb stops, So then why aren't, like, is that what you guys are doing? Like, have you done, I don't know how many there are in town.
We were investigating to find more curbs.
Yeah, let me speak to a couple of
Where
the,
the curb stops are? Like,
well,
with the
and
water system?
let me,
Where we have-
can I
Sorry.
speak to that? Because a couple years ago, I had this bright idea, and I'm not that bright, but I had this bright idea, why don't we take every parcel in the township, put it on a map, and then take every water meter, every water customer, put them on this overlay on a map, and then went to Well Logics that the state has, which is not a perfect well database, and put them on a map. And now, and then we already had the water mains, we knew where those were running, so now we've got a picture where, oh, this parcel has a well, this parcel has a water meter, or is a water customer. This is where the main goes. That is how Mr. Gust has targeted these areas to see, okay, this is along here, I've got this house, I don't see a well. Maybe they have one, the well records are not perfect. But we do know who our water customers are. And so we did that, and that has been a very useful part of this process, is identifying, okay, customer, 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 no customer, customer, what about that one? And prior to this map, and they say pictures worth 1,000 words, that's really where we started to get some traction on this, because we could see, oh, that one has a well, and they weren't connected to the system. And so that's the stuff we've done. We have found customers. I've seen pictures where somebody just put a straight pipe in where the meter was. And if you don't get any ideas, we will know. But we've seen that, and I've seen it in my own community. I've seen other communities where this is a problem. People steal water. They do. So, but we don't.
So
Hey,
do we know of the percentage, because Alan, study for you, of those curb boxes or meter or tap-ins, do you know what percentage you have already tested and confirmed, and then what percentage is left to do? So isn't that something that maybe we should set up a spreadsheet and identify and know?
We've identified the parcels that are in question, and we're going through and looking at them
Okay.
and looking.
So,
Pete, what you
Mike,
got?
simple math, okay?
mhm,
Yucca's charging the township $4.10 per year, right?
yes.
And the township's gonna charge the residents $5.74,
Mhm.
is that correct? So if you take 10% of 410, that's 41 cents, right?
Okay.
Okay, and if you do that by 4, that comes up to $1.64 difference, and that's 40%. That's how I got my number.
Okay.
So why are we charging 40% if we've not been that 40% in a while now? I see 30, and I know it fluctuates, and I know you can't adjust every time there's a fluctuation, but 40% to me is a little high,
We're
by
not
my
sure.
opinion.
It's not that. So the goal here, and this formula is we take the total water charges from Yucca and the total billed. And that, all the water that's metered through the system covers the cost of the Yucca charges. That's our goal. We are not looking to make a single dollar more. It's going to fluctuate a little bit, but I don't agree with that 40% is not the.
Well, if you take, and I don't mean to argue, but if you take 10% of $4.10, that's 41 cents.
Okay.
And if you times it by 4, which is to me 40%, it comes out to the $1.64 difference. So,
Well,
I mean, that's simple math to me.
Okay. I don't generally do math while I'm standing here in a microphone. I found that is not good.
Okay,
But
let me put it this way.
yeah. Well,
41 cents is 10%, right? 20% is
Okay.
82 cents, right? Okay, and 82 and 82, which would be 40%, comes to $1.64. And that's 40%, the way I figure it.
okay.
Well, let's get what we'll
So
do.
I just,
And we've been down this road before.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You and I have had this
We'll get a
conversation.
break, I wanna get a breakdown of it, too, so we'll get
Yeah,
one.
and we could do that, and I'll take the direction from the board, and we'll come up with the math that demonstrates. So, yeah.
All right, go ahead, Ken.
The thing I was thinking, having sat on that side of the table and looked at this stuff, is that my guess is that the way you're doing the math is you're taking the total amount that we pay to Yucca, regardless of what they're charging, regardless of how much we've used and paid, but what they're charging us, and looking at that amount, and then figuring out what the percentages we have to pay in order to make sure we pay their full amount. Because our loss fluctuates. Sometimes it's less than 28%, sometimes it's more than 28%, but what we hope we're gonna be paying is $500, but what we're really paying is $725. And we have to figure out a rate to charge to cover an average of $725.
Correct. Yes, we have to cover the total bill.
I hate to cut you guys short.
I just want to make one more point, I just wrap it up with one more point. Every day in this township, 100,000 gallons of water goes through, comes from Yucca that is not billed. If we can cut that in half, that's 50,000 gallons a day. If you know somebody that gets water and isn't paying for it, just slip a note over to somebody over
Can I ask
here.
a question about, before I moved into my house, I found out that they put in new sewer systems because their wells went dry. So you're saying that those people in this area could have hooked up to those water lines?
Sewer, yes, but not
No,
water.
the water. We're not on, we have our own,
Okay.
what about water? Did they feel hooked up to the water?
I've never hooked up water, I don't know how.
It depends on where you're at. Do you have water in front of your home, do you know?
I have water.
Oh, you do.
I have my own, I have a septic field. But
No.
I'm just saying, could people connect to the water line that at that time, which was back in the 1990s, hook up to it somehow?
Well, we have those maps and
So
things.
that's
That's the
what I'm
one where they
thinking,
dried
that
up,
could
we
be
don't have
an
water
area.
lines out there, I believe is
Yeah.
what she's.
Well, so
Yeah.
what Mr. Allen's been doing, he's been going through and following the maps that we have.
Right,
on our
it could
system.
be that these people somehow could have hooked up
Well,
with
he
water
goes
back
through
then.
for every house that has a curb box.
Right.
Then he tests it, and they got it broke down for who has a well, and then he checks the chlorine. If they have a well, if you have a well at your place and have it registered.
I had a well, but I don't anymore because the
Right,
wells
so-
went dry.
So just to say she had a well, he'd come knock on the door and say, hey, we're doing testing on your water, see if you have chlorine. If you have chlorine in your well, that means you're tied to your city water, right?
Ah, yeah.
So
because
he's
wells
been
don't
doing a
have
full long investigation, found quite a few, not quite a few, but found several, properties and homes.
Okay,
that's been tied
that's
in.
what I was talking about. I
So,
was
yeah, they're
thinking
doing
that
the
could be one-
investigation,
Okay,
that's been doing really good.
makes sense.
Well, hey, we're getting a little bit sidetracked,
Okay,
man,
let's
this
go.
is something we don't normally do, and, we got to get back on track of things, but I appreciate you. No, it was even, we're all set, and I think, Mike, I appreciate you, and for Pete, we're gonna get that,
Thank you.
Mike, I wanna get that, number down for him, so we got it. All right, thanks, everybody, sorry for getting off track. So let's get at it. A little bit different, huh, but that's nice to have something different every now and again.
Okay, so I'm going to read the resolution for the water rates. All right. This is resolution number 25-20. Resolution adopted at a meeting of the Board of Trustees of Augusta Charter Township, Washtenaw County, Michigan, held at the Township Hall, 8021 Talladay Road, Whitaker, Michigan, on
We gotta change that, held at the Lincoln, so I will amend that, at the Lincoln
Okay.
Senior Center. Okay, so we'll amend that.
So held at the Lincoln Senior Center, Michigan, on September 23rd, 2025. Whereas the township provides a public sewer and water services to township residents in accordance with the Augusta Township Water and Sewer Use Ordinance of 1984 as amended and in compliance with the Revenue Bond Act of 1933. And whereas the Revenue Bond Act of 1933 and the Township Water and Sewer Use Ordinance require the township to annually review and revise as necessary the rates and charges for public water and sewer use service to assure for the adequate operation of the public system and to ensure the security of bonds issued. And whereas the Revenue Bond Act of 1933 and the Township Water and Sewer Use Ordinance direct that no free service shall be furnished by the system to any person, firm, or corporation, public or private, or to a public agency or instrumentality. And whereas the Revenue Bond Act of 1933 and the Township Water and Sewer Use Ordinance as amended direct that rates and charges shall be established and revised by Township Board by resolution, must produce revenue sufficient to produce for the payment of expenses of administration, operation, maintenance, and improvements to the system, including an adequate reserve for major repairs and replacements for the purpose of preserving the public water and sewer utility system in good repair and working order. And whereas the Ypsilanti Community Utilities Authority, YCUA, does provide facilities for the distribution of water to Augusta Township and for the collection and treatment and disposal of sewage and waste from Augusta Township. And whereas YCUA did submit the following rate increases to the township effective, should that be November 1st?
No, that's when it was
Oh,
effective.
oh, for the first one, okay, effective September 1st, 2025. Water commodity purchase increase of 5.69%. Sewer commodity purchase increase of 5.67%. Sewer fixed debt service charge increase of 3%. Whereas the wastewater discharge of typical buildings in the township are not specifically metered and said use of the system is considered to have a direct relationship with the metered water use and the size of the water line. And whereas the American Water Works Association, AWWA, is an international nonprofit scientific and educational association founded to improve water quality and supply and for purposes of equitably distributing costs among users of water systems, he has established a residential equivalent user table, REU, based on meter size. And then we list all the meter sizes with the capacity and then the factor based on 5/8 inch. It's a table that's in here. I'm not going to read up every meter
Yeah,
size.
you don't have to read them all.
Yeah, now therefore, be it hereby resolved, the Township Board finds, approves, and determines, Section 1, the following commodity and capacity rates for each of the bi-monthly billing cycles beginning November 1st, 2025, which include no change to the current sewer rates. So the commodity rate per 100 cubic feet water is $5.74 and sewer remains at 4.08. And then the capacity rate per RU for water is now $47.35 and the sewer remains at $70.73. So, your motion.
All right, this is mine here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so you gotta make a motion to approve the resolution 25-20. Resolution to increase the water capacity, commodity and capacity rates, and maintain current sewage rates effective November 1st, 2025. Do a roll call. Adams,
Well, second.
or second, yeah, Kim seconds. So, roll call. Adams,
Yes.
Buick,
Yes.
Gippert,
Abstain.
Guanxi,
You said you abstained from it? Okay. Let me get this down, wait a second.
Can't abstain.
Why?
You can't abstain in a vote unless you're compromised in some way.
I feel I don't have, since I don't have any water, I shouldn't decide on any rates.
But I think that according to the rules, you can't abstain.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have
unless
to
you
be-
have,
You have to have a conflict of interest to abstain.
Well, you can vote no if you want to.
I'll vote yes, because I mean, I see the paperwork, but
Right.
Okay, so you're saying yes then? Yeah, because I see what she's saying, you can't, the only time you should abstain is if you are directly connected to the issue, like it's a relative or, you know,
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
You can recuse yourself because,
Yeah.
or abstain only if you have a conflict of interest.
Very good. Well, thank you, Susan.
Cat.
Yeah. And thank you.
That's okay, me and Sue will go all along.
All right, Giffords a yes, Guernsey,
Yes.
Green, Praying,
Yes.
Waller's a yes. All right, Chief, where you at?
He's here, yay. He's been too busy, we don't see him.
Good.
Okay, the month of August, we had 47 calls, no property lost by fire, no cost recovery, no ordinance violations, had a couple warnings. We issued 27 burning permits. We had 2 mutual aid responses that showed 0. We assisted a mile and they had 2 fires and we covered their station for them. Training was brush truck operations, extrication tools, Doty belt, which is basically a belt, like a parachute belt to help us. It's got handles on the side to pick up bigger individuals. We've been getting a lot of lift assist calls lately. Ambulance equipment overview. Now the ambulance don't put the children in children's seats anymore. They have a gadget, just a bunch of belts. They told us to go put it together on a call, and we were trying to read instructions, and I think it's got belts and clips. So we had the ambulance come out to our station and show us how to construct this thing so that we can have it ready for them if they have transporting a child. I still think the seat's better, but that's their new policy. That's what they have. So now we know how to put this gadget together, and it attaches to the stretcher. Public education's attached, fire prevention. Our new fire inspector has done an occupancy limit review for the senior center, the Township Hall, and he's purchased a 2021 International Fire Code and tabs, which I believe last meeting we upgraded to the 2021 International Fire Code for the Township. They had their safety committee meeting, we're reviewing that, which is required once a year. Purchase of new extinguishers, annual inspections were completed in August, and then some of the community engagement, Splitterpalooza, football standbys. Our open house is coming up October 12th. I do have the flyer ready for the board so they can put it on the website. For the cleanup, for a little while, we were cooking for the cleanup crew, but then we got called away for a cardiac arrest, so I think they cooked for themselves after we left. And we've got 2 gentlemen soliciting donations for the raffle. That's all I have.
We got the wrong report in ours.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we have August. Does yours say August 26th? Because the numbers you were reading were off, that's
Yeah,
why.
it should say September 20.
Yeah, we got the wrong one.
Yeah, I'm working with one of my new guys, bringing him up, so I'll take the blame. I was helping out. I'm trying to get 2 guys under me where they can do all reports, all payroll, anything that I do. I don't want this department to get left like I got left and someone just leaves. So I was looking over his shoulder, so I'll take the blame for it.
That's
Doing
that's
good.
great. That's a great idea.
So that's
Someone else.
a commitment I made, so keep the continuity going.
Yeah.
So,
So he did get payroll right?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I signed that, this one I was gonna send out, but I was right over his shoulder, so I'll take the blame for that.
All right,
Thank you, Dave. for everything
thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the Augusta Township Fire Department's report. Second by Keith. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, here we go, number 9 here. This is supervisor's report, yeah?
No, this
Well,
is
it's a
the
full-
cell, the person,
But yeah,
full replacement.
diversified, yeah. All right, so I have to make a motion for or let's talk about it first. So anyway, we have to do some valve bolt replacement. We have an issue where we're supposed to have a bunch of valves replaced and had an issue with the vendor that was, supposed to be doing it, that didn't wanna, we just didn't follow it, we didn't go through with the contract, walked away from it because of some difficulties at, doing the job, so we just walked away from it, and they're gonna do a valve bolt replacement. So what's happening is, you got valves in the road, you can't shut them off and on, because the ends break off, and they're leaking around the gaskets, right? So instead of replacing the valve, they're gonna go through, the bolts stretch after a while. When the bolts start stretching, the gaskets start leaking. So they're gonna go through, Diversified's gonna go down the hole, suck the hole out, replace each one of the bolts one at a time, make sure they're not leaking. If the valve needs to be replaced, then we'll replace it at that time. So we're saving quite a bit of money doing it this way. We need to do it right away because the weather is gonna pose a problem. It's gonna be full of water and nasty. Need to do it before it gets cold, start having, hopefully we don't have any issues, so. I'd like to make a motion to approve Diversified excavating site utilities for valve bolt replacement for the amount of $19,800.
Second. Linda, second.
I could do a roll call. Adams,
Yes.
Burek,
Yes.
Gifford,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Gunsey,
Yes.
Crane,
Yes.
Waller's a yes.
I don't know if we got next or. Oh, supervisor,
I really don't. Right now. That's on Kim.
okay. No,
What's that?
I'm ready.
She was wondering if she was next.
No, well, no. So supervisor report, we really don't have anything besides, Mike's got some more dumpsters. You got another dumpster out set up.
Yeah, we have 2 more dumpsters at the new fire station, and you call and make an appointment if you'd like to dump some stuff off. It's camered, so you know who's coming in and out of there. We will not accept tires, mattresses, any kind of paint or oil. So, and there's dumpster there right now.
So you come out and dump. Mr. Allen, you ready to come up for your?
Whenever you're ready.
Come on. We're getting through it.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
There's been a couple lift station call-outs this month. The first one was on 9/3. Whitaker Lift Station called out for a high wet well. When the operator arrived, the pump was running but was not pumping down the wet well. The operator pulled the pump and it was filled with rags. The impeller was filled with rags. They cleaned it out, put it back in the wet well, and it pumped properly. The next lift station callouts were for 3 lift stations on 9/11. There was a small power outage around the township hall, and the operator came out that night. With being a power outage, we want to get on site as soon as possible, just in case we need to hook up the generator. When he arrived, the power was already back on, and everything was working properly.
Good.
The water loss so far for this month is 24%, and last month it was 23%. And then operations continue looking into parcels with wells and no curb boxes, or wells and no indication of township water, looking for curb boxes. And if it is found that they have one, we see if it's on. And if there is an indication that it could be on, we ask the residents for a chlorine sample. So, is there anything else the board has questions of.
You know, if it's starting to get cold, when they gonna think about doing flushing?
Hopefully in October, I'll get a
Late
date to you.
October,
Yeah, mid to late October, I'll get a date for you.
So I don't know if you talked about this last meeting, that we have a new field guy
Yes,
on board.
yes,
So,
yes. Jake is the operator that's been in the field for the past month. I've stepped away from day-to-day operations. I am still the project manager for Augusta, but I'm still on call. So any issues, I'm still the one responsible. So I came out and assisted with that Whitaker lift station because he needed extra hand, so.
is he new face from FNB? Is he new?
He's been with F&V for
Or,
a
well,
year and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, all right, very good.
yeah.
He seems to be pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or you wanna read that off, you want me to?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
So make a motion to approve the utility report as given.
All in favor?
And I'll make a motion to approve the are you done with yours?
I'm done, yeah.
The supervisor's report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so Susan teases me, but I am excited about
Well, we
my
did-
report tonight.
So we knocked it all out for our-
You do what?
I
Oh,
did-
utility billing.
If I would've had something, I would've jumped in, but we sent out the bill, so that's my good news.
That's your
Last week.
Thank you. All right, so I wanted to let everyone know that the petition signatures for an election referendum on the rezoning ordinance 2025-02 zoning ordinance and map amendment have been verified. The number of registered voter signatures that were required is 561. The number of valid registered voter signatures that were received is 836. Therefore, the petition is adequate. I believe it will be on the primary in August 2026 is our next regular election unless we do a special election in May. So we'll let you know when we know when that is. Also, we're having a November 4th election. It's, the only thing on the ballot is the Washtenaw County Intermediate School. It's the only proposal on the ballot. We had an election commission meeting earlier this evening. And there are a couple things, a couple changes. So the county, Washtenaw County met their election commission and they have decided not to do early voting. We're in a contract with the county for our early voting. So because they determined that due to the cost, that it would not be good to use the taxpayers' money for an election where the turnout and voter interest is expected to be much lower. So we still have absentee